What if the moon disappeared? Imagine you look up at the sky tonight and the moon is gone, completely gone. No explosion, no giant pieces falling toward Earth. It simply disappears. What would happen to us? Would Earth fall out of space? Would giant waves cover the planet? Would we all die? Here's a simple answer: no, we would not suddenly die. Earth would keep going around the sun, but our planet would change. Nights would become much darker. The ocean's tides would become much weaker. Many animals would have to adapt, and over a very long time, Earth's tilt could become less stable. So let's imagine the moon disappears right now. First, something surprising happens. Nothing, at least not immediately. Why? Because the moon is far away, about 384,000 kilometers from Earth, and even gravity doesn't communicate changes instantly. Changes in gravity travel at the speed of light. So if the moon magically disappeared, Earth wouldn't know about it for about 1.3 seconds. Then the moon's gravitational pull would be gone. But don't worry, Earth would not suddenly fly away from the sun. The sun is the main reason Earth stays in its orbit. The moon is important, but it isn't holding Earth next to the sun. Now, look outside. The biggest thing you might notice is the night. It would be much darker. The moon doesn't make its own light. It's more like a giant mirror. Sunlight hits the moon, and some of that light bounces toward Earth. That's why we can see it. When there's a full moon, it can make the nighttime landscape surprisingly bright. But without the moon, that light disappears. Stars would still shine. Streetlights would still work. Cities would still glow. But far away from artificial lights, the natural night would become much darker. And that would matter to animals. Lots of animals use moonlight. Some animals hunt when the moon is bright. Others hide because predators can see them more easily. Some use the moon to help them move around. And some sea animals even time important parts of their lives using the moon's cycle. Imagine you've been using the same giant clock in the sky for millions of years, and suddenly someone takes the clock away. Animals wouldn't all disappear overnight, but many would have to adjust to a very different nighttime world. Then something much bigger would happen in the ocean. The tides would change. Have you ever gone to the beach and noticed that the water isn't always in the same place? Sometimes the water comes farther onto the beach. Later, it moves away. That's a tide. The moon is the biggest influence on Earth's ocean tides. Here's a simple way to imagine it. Pretend Earth is holding a giant bowl of water. The moon's gravity gently pulls on that water. As Earth rotates, different parts of the planet experience changing tides. The sun also pulls on Earth's oceans. So if the moon disappeared, tides would not completely disappear. The sun would still create tides, but they would be much weaker than the tides we have today. And weaker tides would matter. Coastlines are full of places that depend on tides. Wetlands, mudflats, rock pools, estuaries. Lots of tiny animals live in environments where water regularly comes in and goes out. Crabs, shellfish, small fish, sea plants, and many other creatures. Change the tides, and you change their homes. And when one part of nature changes, other parts can change too. Because animals eat other animals, birds eat fish eat smaller creatures. Everything is connected. But there's something else the moon does that you can't see. It helps stabilize Earth. Imagine a spinning toy top. When it's spinning nicely, it points mostly in one direction. But sometimes a spinning object can wobble. Earth is also tilted, not straight up and down. Its axis is tilted by about 23.5 degrees. That tilt is extremely important. It's one of the main reasons we have seasons: summer, autumn, winter, Spring. The moon's gravity helps keep Earth's tilt relatively stable over very long periods of time. Without the moon, Earth's tilt could vary more chaotically over millions of years. That does not mean Earth would suddenly flip upside down tomorrow. Nothing like that. We're talking about enormous periods of time. But if Earth's tilt changed a lot, Earth's climate could change too. Imagine pointing a flashlight at a ball. Tilt the ball one way, and the light hits it differently. Tilt it another way, and different areas receive different amounts of light. That's similar to why Earth's tilt matters. So without the moon, the biggest effects on Earth's orientation could take a very, very long time to develop. Now, here's another interesting change. Our days would not suddenly become dramatically shorter, but the moon has been slowly changing Earth's rotation for billions of years. Long ago, Earth spun faster. That means days were shorter. The moon creates tides, and those tides create friction. Very slowly, that interaction has been slowing Earth's rotation. At the same time, the moon has been slowly moving farther away from us. Even today, the moon moves away from Earth by roughly a few centimeters each year. Without the moon, that particular lunar braking effect would disappear. But again, you wouldn't notice this tomorrow. These changes happen incredibly slowly, and we'd lose something else: solar eclipses. A solar eclipse happens when the moon moves between Earth and the sun. For a short time, the moon can cover the sun from our view. It's an amazing coincidence. The sun is enormously bigger than the moon, but it's also enormously farther away. From Earth, they can appear almost the same size in the sky. That's why we can get beautiful total solar eclipses. No moon, no solar eclipses caused by the moon. And of course, no lunar eclipses either. No crescent moon, no full moon, no moonrise, no moonlight. Human beings have looked at the moon for thousands of years. We've used it to help make calendars. We've written stories about it, songs, poems. Religions and cultures have used lunar cycles to mark time. Humans even walked on it, so losing the moon wouldn't only change nature, it would change something about human life too. But let's answer the biggest question. Would humans survive without the moon? Yes. If the moon simply vanished without causing an explosion or sending debris toward Earth, humanity would not suddenly disappear. The sun would still rise. Earth would still orbit the sun. Gravity would still hold you to the ground. You could still go to school, eat dinner, use your phone, and go to sleep. But Earth would no longer be exactly the planet we know. Nights would be darker. Ocean tides would be much weaker. Coastal ecosystems would change. Many animals would have to adapt. We would never see another lunar or solar eclipse. And over extremely long periods of time, Earth's tilt could become less stable. So, what if the moon disappeared? Earth would survive. We would survive. But we discover something important. That quiet white ball in the night sky isn't just decoration. For billions of years, the moon has been pulling on our oceans, influencing Earth's rotation, helping stabilize our planet, providing light at night, and shaping life along our coasts. We usually don't notice what the moon is doing. It just sits there in the sky. But if it disappeared, we definitely would.